number 2 seed versus the number 5 seed in the NFC Divisional Round coming up in Chicago on Sunday night. And the Rams on BetMGM right now, 3.5-point favorites. And this is still the highest total of the week, although it has dropped considerably. It is at 48.5. Before we get into all the X's and O's, I want to turn it over to my co-host here, the meteorology expert. The guy's got a literal degree, a master's degree in it. So weather going to play a big factor in this game on Sunday night, Bradley. And why don't you tell the folks what we can expect at Soldier Field in the Windy City?
Yeah, a couple of changes to the forecast based on the recent modeling. It could be slightly warmer than what was originally forecasted. I think game time temps are still going to be around 20 degrees, still bitterly cold, especially if you're a Los Angeles Rams fan, not used to those kind of conditions. The winds are going to be sustained, which means consistent breezes out of the west around 15 miles an hour with gusts now up to 25 miles per hour. So again, you're going to have a low single digit wind chills, which may dip below zero, especially in the second half. And here's a real twist in the forecast, Pat. There could be some snow showers during the game. Now, is there going to be accumulating snow? I don't think it's going to be impactful accumulating snow, but you could see a dusting on the field with some of the more moderate squalls that could be impacting there along the lake. So that originally was in the forecast about 48 hours ago. Now there's about a 60% chance you may see some of the white stuff flying through the air during game time. But again, it comes down to the winds, the wind chill, and how a team from SoCal is going to be able to react to it.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Let's look at the injury report here for this game. The Rams offensively, they're completely healthy. Nobody's even on the injury report. And same thing for the most part for the defense, although Kello Witherspoon, who earlier in the year was playing big-time snaps for them at cornerback, he's been on injured reserve basically on and off throughout the season. He's not going to play. Not a massive loss. They've played most of the year without him. For your Chicago Bears, Brad, it's a bit more ominous. First of all, the guys we know aren't going to play. Their left tackle, Ozzie Trapilo, who had done a great job this year, went on injured reserve with the patellar tendon rupture last week. He's out, and we know that the starting middle linebacker, TJ Edwards, is gone on IR after that dislocated ankle earlier in the game last week ended his season. CJ Gardner-Johnson is back. He'll be expected to play in the slot. And on offense, a questionable tag for the number 1 receiver, Rome Odunze, although he was a full participant in practice on Friday today. He still is nursing that foot injury that cost him 5 straight games to end the season. Last week, Rome Odunze, 2 catches for 44 yards against the Green Bay Packers. So that's the injury report. Both defenses have proven to have moments here where they've been really leaky, especially the Rams. Protecting leads has been an issue for them, and we know the Chicago Bears, the cardiac Bears, the comeback kids, this has been their bread and butter. Doesn't matter if they get off to a slow start in the first half. I thought if they did against the Packers, it would be their undoing, and yet they produce another memorable, magical comeback on that magic carpet ride. And this time, you've got a Rams defense that can be had. It's a Rams defense that has struggled to stop the run. It's a Rams secondary that can be thrown on. Look at what Bryce Young was able to do last week with Carolina, leading them back. The Rams special teams has been a massive, massive issue all year long. They fired their special teams coordinator earlier in the year. We saw the Bears have a couple of big punt and kick returns last week against the Green Bay Packers, so I think that's going to be a factor. But, you've got 2 great quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, who is continuing to ascend, Ben Johnson coming off of having all the headlines about him with the drive-by handshake against Matt LaFleur, F the Packers. I mean, this is a guy, though, this team rallies around. First year as a head coach, the offense has taken that massive step forward. And even though the Bears defense has been suspect, their name of the game has been getting turnovers. And now recently, even when they don't get turnovers, they're still able to do just enough. Thank you, Brandon McManus, for missing all those field goals. So 2 defenses that are suspect, 2 quarterbacks that are great. Stafford, a Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl champion, maybe wins the MVP against Drake May. And you got Sean McVay versus Ben Johnson. I'm very interested to see how this game plays out, especially if the weather impacts it at all. All I know is last year I was in Philadelphia. I was at the Link for the Snow Globe game, and Matt Stafford actually got better once you couldn't see the freaking field and once the snow was coming down. So I don't think this is going to be, warm weather team, the Rams, they can't handle this. No, Stafford can handle the weather. They played the Eagles last year all the way down to the final snap, and Stafford was cutting it through the wind and the snow and the precipitation. So with that being said, Brad, it's a big game for you as a Bears fan, big game for the rest of this show. Producer Brandon Combs, video producer Michael Montgomery. We'll give our plays out in just a second, but I've already made it known. I bet against the Bears last week. I've been doubting the Bears for most of this season. I think the magic carpet ride continues this weekend. I think the Bears win, and I know that you feel very excited, and you got to feel a lot of confidence right now about Chicago as well.
Yeah, and I implore you actually to bet against the Bears, please. Keep the juju on our side, my good man, because the Bears may need it. I mean, the Rams are very explosive, and he mentioned Stafford's success. It's not like, I understand he, played in a dome, but he was a member of the Detroit Lions playing inside Ford Field. Of course, he's playing in a dome right now in Southern California. But in 13 career games in which he has played below 40 degrees, he's got a 24-11 touchdown interception split and has completed 62.7% of his passes. He's been really damn good in chilly conditions. Now, the question is, what about Puka Nacua? What about Kyron Williams? What about some of these other guys? Are they going to be able to rise to the occasion given the brutal and chilly conditions? Because I think the wind will play a factor, and it's the wind chill. It's not the snow. It's not the actual air temperature. It's the wind chill that you really got to worry about. Your extremities get a little bit numb. The ball gets ultra hard. We've had a couple of guests on earlier this week. We were talking to Allen Robinson about that. It makes the ball slicker, makes it more difficult to catch, could increase the drops. I think Stafford's going to have a couple of missteps and miscues in this game. I think he's going to throw at least an interception in this game as a result. And that's the key in this contest overall. Number one, how opportunistic will the Bears be? Didn't get a takeaway last week. Honestly, could have had 3 or 4. A lot of those 50-50 balls with the peanut punch outs that they had just didn't bounce their way, and they didn't recover it. But maybe they bounced their way this time, or maybe they really ratchet up the pressure and get a pick 6 or just a general pick or 2 in the game. And the other key factor is who wins the war in the trenches. And the Bears have been phenomenal, fantastic, amazing in run blocking efficiency all season long. Let me give you the evidence to back it up. Entering the game this week, they're number 3 on the entire season, according to Pro Football Focus in RBE, which stands for run blocking efficiency. And the other key, too, is the Rams. They're just number 22 in rush EPAD since week 12, a span of 7 games. So I think the Bears are going to come out with a very conservative approach, especially early. Heavy dose of DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monunga, that 1-2 punch. I think Caleb Williams, who's always springy and spry, a supreme athlete, can make plays with his legs. That may determine the outcome of the game, along with the turnovers that I anticipate Matthew Stafford committing. So, bear down, Chicago Bears. Going for Dicka. Going for Buck. Going for sweetness. I think the Chicago Bears are winning this bad boy, and there's no bias baked in at all in that opinion.
Yeah, 2 quick things for me, and we'll give out our plays here. Stafford and Monty put it in the show chat, and I definitely wanted to bring it up. Thank you, Monty, for putting it top of mind for me. He said, I'm not convinced Stafford is 100% with his finger injuries, so hoping he can't sling it like normal. I mean, that's a big impact to his thumb. The right thumb, the throwing hand thumb of Matthew Stafford that he was hitting repeatedly on Panthers defensive linemen's helmets last week, and then he didn't look like the same quarterback for a little bit, right? I mean, he threw the interception, he underthrew it, that one pass in the third quarter, but then those 2 touchdown drives that they needed. I mean, he looked like it wasn't bothering him at all, so he's got a week. But then again, if that thumb is even a little bit tender, it's 20 degrees, it's windy, it's snowing, like he hits it again on a player's helmet, and that thing is going to be ringing. That's like, a baseball player in a 30-degree game in October getting jammed on the inside. That thing hurts like hell. And if you're the Chicago Bears, like you can't like intentionally like put your helmet into his hand, but like slapping at it, if you get hands on him, like you're grabbing at that hand, you're grabbing at that thumb, man. This is trench warfare. Like, and anything is on the line here. So the Chicago Bears have to kind of see what kind of shape that thumb is in any which way they can. And then the other thing, and maybe I'm getting too into the weeds here. Maybe I'll be dead wrong on this. Maybe I'm saying this just to, suck up the oxygen out of the room here. But I do remember a couple of games, and specifically the one I was at the Link on Black Friday, where the Bears ran for almost 300 yards against the Eagles. It wasn't just the fact that they ran it. It was the manner in which they ran it. And we know they run a lot of outside zone run scheme. But for me, it was a lot of stretches, like extra 13 personnel, and like literally jumbling up the jumbo package and running all the way to the outside. So a lot of stretch runs to the outside to deal with the great speed that the Eagles had. And also was a lot of misdirections. So then they would run the stretch, and then they would run what looked like a stretch, and then you'd see DeAndre Swift literally just intentionally cut back the other way, and there was a couple of big holes, big gaps. I almost wonder if they tried it. Well, they should be trying to do that, but also on third and like mediums. Like if you get 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 7s, and you're around midfield, I don't know if those are guaranteed passing situations, because I think Ben Johnson's going to be aggressive. We're going to see probably 4 or 5 4th down gambles from him. And so I wonder if like 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, maybe they try to counteract all the different stunts and overlapping pass rushes that the Rams are going to try to use, and they use those misdirections. And see if you can catch a guy on a stunt, Kobe Turner coming from the outside to the inside, and you hit a misdirection on him, you might have a couple of big home run plays waiting to happen. Again, I could be dead wrong, but that's just something that when I watched them do it in firsthand in Philadelphia, and knowing that the way the Rams like to rush the quarterback on 3rd downs, I wonder if that is a strategy the Chicago Bears might be looking to employ. So without further ado, Brad, our best plays here for Bears and Rams on Sunday night. What do you got?
Oh, look at you, just leaning in and offering support from my first play. DeAndre Swift had the most rush yards in the game at plus 185. I think he's going to outpace Kyron Williams. I think really his biggest threat is his own teammate and Kyle Manungai. But Swift is a guy who's averaging over 4.5 yards per carry at Soldier Field this season. Play number 2, give me Matty Stafford to throw a pick. How this is plus money is beyond me. I know he's only done it in 6 games this year. The Bears led the regular season with 23 INTs. They did not get an interception in all of 5 games over the entire year, including the wild card round. Again, I think they pick off Stafford at least one time. And then the final play, same game parlay, give me Matthew Stafford to throw 2 passing touchdowns. I think he will do that, not another touchdown more. And then I'm going to not quite correlate, synergize, and bring it all together. So that negative correlation, give me the under on the all total of 56.5. And guess what we achieve? More plus money, plus 102 built there at BetMGM. So those are my top plays in the props market in Bears and Rams. And if the Bears win again, your boy is swallowing the damn tequila bottle worm.
I'm right there with you, man. I mean, again, I think this magic carpet ride continues, whether they got to come from behind, whether they can run on the LA Rams, which I think they do. I think the Bears win the game. I'll take them the plus 3.5 and get the hook. I mean, if they lose by a field goal, I get to rub it in your guys' faces and I'll win the bet. So Bears plus 3.5. I actually think we do have points. I know the weather could be hazardous. I still think these are 2 defenses that are suspect, 2 quarterbacks that can light up the scoreboard. I'll just take straight up the over 48.5. And then 2 props for me. Puka over 97.5 receiving yards. I don't know who's stopping him, right? And I know Brandon's going to come in and say, whoa, hold on. All of a sudden, we got Jalen Johnson back, and he's like a Hall of Famer, like a first ballot Hall of Famer. Puka Nacua can light up almost any defense in the NFL. So give me Puka over 97.5 receiving yards. He basically got that in the first half last week against Carolina. And then you like DeAndre Swift. I like Kyle Manungai. I think they use him as the change of pace, the bruising running back to really hurt this Rams defense, get to the second level, run some guys over. Give me Manungai over 35.5 rushing yards. Those are my 4 plays.
Yeah.